What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erinbies. I'm a wife, a mom, a military veteran, a certified personal trainer, and I spent 13 and a half years in multi-level marketing, healed my way out, and now I am using all of my social media platforms to educate and raise awareness around the dangers of multi-level marketing companies and the tactics used by the reps. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm the most active on Instagram. You can follow me here, and I'd love to see you over there. It'd be pretty cool. There is not enough strawberries and cream, Dr. Pepper zero sugar for this live. There's just not enough, but hopefully this will get me through. Today, as you saw from the thumbnail, we are going to talk about a new program that Pruvit is putting out, running right now, if you will, and it's called the Summer Shred. Yeah. And now what I've noticed in the last, probably this year, the last few months specifically, is they are talking a lot about weight loss. And when I was a part of Pruvit prior to getting out in the summer of 2021, we were not allowed to say weight loss. We were only allowed to say fat loss, and compliance was all over it. So I find it really interesting, this pivot that they are making. And they have a product that they are really pushing right now called the iFast. And essentially, it is a kit that they are selling people to do intermittent fasting. And by the way, this is a hot take, I know. You don't need Pruvit's ketones and if you're interested in doing intermittent fasting. Anyways, want to give a content warning. We are talking about food, relationship with food, in my opinion, disordered eating. We are going to talk about all of that stuff, so please prepare yourself. This is very similar to what I see from Optavia. So if this is a video you're not prepared to watch today, I totally get it. Totally get it. Please take care of yourself. Okay, let's get into this. This first person that's going to be speaking is Dustin Schaefer, and he is one of the top ranking, I believe, people in Pruvit. He is somebody that does a lot of the speaking on stage at the events. He does a lot of the company trainings. And so we're going to watch this together as he's talking about the iFast. So prepare yourselves.
What has been your favorite benefit of iFasting, of fasting in general? What has been your favorite benefit? And which formula, which product, which flavor do you like the best? I want to see it in the chat. I love doing this. And if you're somebody that's brand new, maybe that's never done this before, or maybe somebody that's learning for the first time, and you're just curious about what.
Why does he have a lisp? Did he have dental work done? I've never heard him talk like this. I don't understand what's going on here. He's never sounded like this. Maybe it's the microphone on. Did he have dental work? Brian Underwood had a lisp. He now has a lisp. What is going on?
What all this is, just put a 1 in the chat if you're curious, if you're just learning, because here in Pruvit, we love for people, green apple, that's exciting. We want people to get educated, because what we know is that you can get sold on anything. Like people are, I mean, you go on Instagram or you go on Facebook nowadays, you open up Google, there's just all these things coming at you. And what we decided to do is we want to educate, because when we realize, when people actually understand what it is we're doing and understand the science to some degree behind all this, meaning you may.
The science to some degree? How about the science to the full degree? Meaning, where are the studies on Pruvit's ketones? Oh, they don't exist. They're just using studies on things like intermittent fasting and being in nutritional ketosis, where you are not taking in a specific amount of carbs or staying under a specific amount of carbs a day, so that your body pulls from fat to create ketones as an energy source instead of pulling from glycogen that is broken down into glucose, which hits the bloodstream. So where are those studies on Pruvit's ketones, on any of the products? And I'm not talking about any of the studies and things that I previously just mentioned. I mean the studies on Pruvit's products. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. It would be really fascinating for Pruvit to, instead of spending all this money on, patenting their products or whatever, spend the money on the studies and the products. Put your money, Brian Underwood, Terry LaCour, Pruvit in general. Why don't you prove it? Yeah, I'm going to say it that way. Why don't you actually prove that your products do what you say that they do and have legitimate studies done? Oh, because there's a chance that it would show that they don't do anything other than provide energy through caffeine and a ridiculous amount of vitamin B, right? Fascinating.
And I know all the science, but you get to start to learn that this is science, real science behind all these things. You will really.
Is the science in the room with us now? No? Okay.
Truly appreciate not only the product, but the awareness that you're elevating your life and your health the best you can. So I'm very excited about that. So let's get into this. So what is the iFast? What's Summer Shred? And what are the next 5 days are going to look like? So really what this is for the person that I was just talking, I had a live a few minutes ago with a good friend of mine, and she was on a cruise last week. And she's like, Dustin, she's like, I'm so excited about Summer Shred. She goes, on the cruise, she goes, listen, I've lost over 50 pounds and I've been able to maintain it for 5 years. And she goes, it's been great, but I went on a cruise and I didn't want to like be super restrictive on the cruise. I wanted to enjoy myself. I had dessert every single night. And she goes, you know what? I came back, I had my ketones, and she goes, I came back, I feel pretty good. She goes, but I noticed that, I just feel a little bit fuller than normal, she said, maybe a pound or two. And she goes, the Summer Shred's going to be a great way to get that back off and get me a reset to normal, right? This is also for that person that maybe needs a really foundational basic plan. What I like to tell people is when you look at this iFast and you do the Summer Shred with us, it's the most cookie cutter approach you're going to get with the most elevated science you've ever seen. So
What? Wait, so it's a cookie cutter plan, and it has elevated science, kind of like what they say their mitoplex, their electrolytes, they're an elevated electrolyte. Okay, Dustin. That sounds so ridiculous.
if you really want to just keep it simple, that's what we're going to do for you. Literally for 5 days in a row, you have every direction along the way. And I'm going to lay it all out for you here at the end. I'm going to take you through every step of the way at the end. So stay with us and you're going to learn exactly what to do. But if you're somebody that wants to lean out, hey, listen, I put on some muscle, but I want to tighten up right around, right around here. Anybody with me? Anybody want to tighten this area up right here? Just a little bit,
What's happening? What is happening?
it's bathing suit weather. You're kind of like, I want to take my shirt off. I'm just dad bod. Do I have a dad bod? I don't know if I have a dad bod or not, but I want to just tighten it up a little bit. And that's why I'm excited about this, because for 5 days, I can commit, I can stay focused, and I can follow basic directions. I can follow the simplicity of having success here. So I'm excited for you to join us in this. And this is huge. This is the largest global 5-day fast that any company has ever done in the world. And you get to be part of this. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh my God. Okay. Couple things. What happens after 5 days? What happens when people go back to eating how they were eating prior to doing this 5-day iFast? Oh, they're going to gain the weight back? Got it. Got it. So what's the point of the 5-day iFast? If you're going to make any changes to how you're eating, number one, please only work with professionals. And when I say that, I mean like registered dietitians, people that have the educational background to help you with your specific nutritional goals. What happens after the 5-day fast? If you're going to adopt some way of eating, it needs to be for more than 5 days so that you can see how you feel and see what results you get, depending on, and I'm speaking very broadly here. I'm not just talking about intermittent fasting, in my opinion. But if you're going to make any changes to your diet, it needs to be for more than 5 days so you can see how you feel and those types of things. So this, to me, already is very gimmicky. You don't need a kit from Pruvit to do intermittent fasting. You can just choose to do intermittent fasting.
And I can't wait for you all to go through this journey with us. And stay tuned. We're going to have a Facebook group that you can follow along with. If you're not already in our Facebook group, you got to get on the Drink Ketones Daily group and follow along. We have coaches that are going to go live every day to give you some inspiration, some education, some understanding.
Are those coaches qualified to be giving any kind of education when it comes to coaching people through intermittent fasting? Are those people qualified for helping people with making nutritional changes, suggesting what people should be eating? Dustin, are you even qualified to do that? Because I'd venture to say that you probably are not. Oh my God, I hate this.
And perspectives of how to maximize the day. So definitely get into that group. I think it was just put in the chat a second ago. So get into that group and come participate with us, because this is a huge, huge opportunity for you to change your life. But I want to share a story with you all in just a second. This young lady, it's funny when you meet her, she's full of life. When I met her over 7 years ago, she wasn't so full of life. She was somebody that life was happening. Like she had the world, if you can relate, you have the world on your shoulders. It's like everything's up to you and you're just fighting the days. You're fighting through the days.
Okay, see, now we're getting into the oversharing. We're getting into the emotional manipulation, in my opinion. I think we're tap dancing on where health claims can be made. You know, if you're somebody that's so, and he's not saying this, but this is just how I'm feeling watching this. If you're somebody that suffers from chronic pain, if you're somebody that, you know, just doesn't have enough energy, if you're somebody that's struggling to get through the day, if you're struggling with blah, 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 Pruvit ketones can help you. The iFast can help you. I feel like that's what what he, not we, what he and Pruvit are trying to do with this. And that's extremely manipulative. Not a fan at all. And also show us the science that any of these claims from drinking Pruvit's ketones or participating in their iFast will do anything other than reducing the caloric intake. And you'll also see that he mentions, or that it's suggested for people to also work out in some way, shape, or form. So they're burning more calories and they're decreasing their caloric intake and putting themselves into a deficit. So are the results that they're saying or going to say that they are having, is it from the caloric deficit or is it from drinking Pruvit's ketones? We don't know. I mean, I suspect that it's probably the caloric deficit. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments, but
Fighting through the days. And that's who Kate was. And when I met her, in her eye, you could tell that she had this tiger inside of her. She had this thing.
She had a what?
Inside of her that she knew that she wanted more. She wanted to get her life back. She wanted her body back. She wanted her health back. She wanted to be the mom that she knew she was. She was a great mom, but she was struggling to get through her health. She was struggling with the 70 pounds she was carrying on her back. And now it's interesting because she's lost that 70 pounds. And a lot of times people talk about the 70 pounds she lost. And I keep reminding her, I go, Kate, what's amazing about you is for 7 years, you kept 70 pounds off. And nobody does that. Just so you all know, over 85% of people, nearly 90% of people that go and lose some body fat or lose weight, gain it all back. And
tell us the percentage of people in Pruvit that have been saying for the last however many years that they're drinking Pruvit's ketones for fat loss. Meanwhile, they still have any amount of body fat on their body. It does not make any sense. And I'm trying to be very careful in how I say this. I do believe that Pruvit's ketones are not helping people that are drinking them with fat loss in particular, because there have been many changes, in my opinion, from pictures and things that they have shared that show otherwise. Drinking them as many times a day as they drink them, they wouldn't have any body fat.
65% of them gain more of it back, but not part of this community and not Kate. So Kate.
I don't think you can say that. Also, where did that fun little statistic come from, Dustin? And also take a look around at people in Pruvit that have been drinking Pruvit ketones for quite some time. In my opinion, I don't know how I want to say this, they look inflamed to me. Just my personal opinion. I'm not a medical professional, but I definitely have noticed a difference in that. I'll just say it that way. It's concerning. Why? Because I've had 3 different, and I'm not stating this is a fact. This is just my opinion. We are on my channel where I provide commentary. Okay. That being said, I had, thanks to many of you guys and the anti-MLM movement, I had 3 different ketone formulas tested for heavy metals, which came back with heavy metals, small amounts, in each of the 3 formulas. I had the Black Label Eclipse, the cherry one. I had raspberry lemonade in the Keto Max tested, and I also had Keto Nat in the raspberry lemonade tested, because those were what people sent me. I do have another round that I want to get tested and I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking at my products that you guys have sent me, which, by the way, thank you. I appreciate you guys. And they came back with heavy metals. Now, those were only 3 different formulas that I had tested. I'll put the video in the video description. I'll put the live I believe I did talking about those results. And what worries me, what concerns me, there is what appears to be, in my opinion, inflammation, and the amount of ketones that these people are consuming on a daily basis, because Pruvit is putting out more and more products. And granted, I didn't have all of the products tested that Pruvit has, that they offer. And knowing that there are products that have heavy metals in them in any amount, and the amount that they're drinking, I'm concerned. I'm absolutely concerned. And again, just my opinion. Y'all can let me know what you think in the comments. And if you are like, where is this live? Again, I'm going to put that in the video description.
I would love for you to come on and share people why you like the iFast so much and what's one of the benefits you got from using the iFast.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. My name is Kate Higdon. So Dustin's absolutely right. Like when I found ketones and I found Pruvit in 2016, I was an exhausted mom who honestly all I wanted was energy. A friend of mine who's naturally thin never used this for fat loss ever.
Okay, but that is one of the main benefits that Pruvit talks about their products having, fat loss. They say better energy, better focus, better sleep. So better energy, better sleep. How does that work? Better fat loss. How does that work? If somebody that she said is naturally thin, that doesn't need it for fat loss, I feel like that proves everything that I'm saying here. Well, they're not using it for fat loss. Okay, so how does that work? How do you just turn the switch off? So, oh, I don't need that benefit. Let me turn it off. How does that work? Unless Pruvit's products don't help with fat loss, which is a theory. You know, that's my theory. But yeah, how does that work? Do you just say, you know what? These are the 3 benefits that I want: better energy, better focus, better sleep. So I'm just going to negate any of the other benefits. I'm just going to turn those switches off. That's not how that works.
She made a post that she finally found something that made her feel like the mom her kids deserved.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. Imagine thinking an MLM product makes you a better parent. Imagine thinking an MLM product makes you a better spouse, a better girlfriend, boyfriend, however you refer to yourself in a relationship, or a better person in general. An MLM product is not going to make you a better person. And I know that there's going to be some people that watch this and go, well, the community does, the personal development does. You can do all of that. You can find community and not be a part of a multi-level marketing company that preys on other people and financially harms them. I can go into Pruvit's income disclosure statement. I can use facts and data from the Federal Trade Commission. In order to find community, you don't need to join a multi-level marketing company to find that. There's so many different ways that you can find community nowadays. And also, you can do personal development on your own. You want to learn how to do something, how to be a better person. You can pick an area of your life and you can do that without being associated with a multi-level marketing company.
And that touched my heart because I didn't feel like that mom. I didn't feel like the mom my kids deserved at that time because I just had no energy. And so that's why I got started. I had no idea that following this plan and being consistent with it that I would end up losing 70 pounds. And that was great. And like Dustin said, I've been able to keep that off. However, about a year and a half ago, I had a hysterectomy. And I was doing all the same things. I have the hysterectomy. I'm doing all the same things. I'm drinking my ketones exactly the same. I'm drinking my water. I'm taking my electrolytes. I'm eating the same food. However, I had gained like 10 pounds. And if you've ever lost a lot of weight, you have this fear in the back of your head. Put a 1 in the chat if you relate. You have this fear in the back of your head of, oh my gosh, what if it comes back? Like, what if it comes back? And so I don't get on the scale all the time, and I'm a big preacher of don't get on the scale all the time, but I noticed that it was coming back. And so like, it was like the Pruvit God spoke and like shined their light upon me, because about that time, this iFast came out, right?
Oh my God. So by them sharing this particular story, they're trying to say, listen, if you've had a hysterectomy, if you're going through menopause, this is just my opinion. If you're going through any of these things, the iFast is going to be the solution. This is a health claim. You cannot say that. You can't do that. That's disgusting. Leave people alone. Leave them alone.
When I was like, what am I going to do? I'm doing all the same things. Nothing is happening. The scale is not going in the right direction. And here comes the iFast. And I'm looking at it. It wasn't in this pretty little box at that time. It was just 5 packages. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I mean, is it really that different from what I'm already doing? But I'm like, well, I'm going to give it a shot because I don't want to share it with somebody else if I haven't done it myself. So I'm like,
Oh, right, because you got to be a product of the product, especially in Prove It. I wonder how many iFast kits Kate has in her office there. I wonder how many Dustin has, because I bet they have a lot. Because, just in case somebody wants it on, and you have it on hand, somebody lives in your area and they want it right now, they don't want to wait for shipping. This company, they encourage front loading so much. And this is a perfect example of how they do it. I'm not going to suggest something that I haven't done myself. So therefore, I'm going to buy the Prove It iFast kit so that I know how to coach my people. Come on.
if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all in. And I followed the instructions. Dustin said, like, follow the instructions, do it exactly like it says. If you love a plan, put a 2 in the chat. Like,
If you love a plan, don't go to somebody in a multi-level marketing company to get the plan. Go work with a registered dietitian and find a personal trainer that you want to work with that is going to put the plan in place for you to understand how to build a complete plate and how to move your body in the way that you are willing and able to based on your own personal goals. This cookie cutter thing that they're doing, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I think this is extremely dangerous what they're doing.
you love just a plan to follow. And so I did it, and it was different than what I was doing every day. Okay, so that's number one. It was different than what I was doing every day. It mixed up when I was drinking my ketones, how many ketones I was drinking a day. It also gave me specifics of what to eat for lunch, which was different than what I was doing before. And so I did this iFast for 5 days. I did the iFast, and every evening after dinner, I went for a 20-minute walk.
So, what I'm hearing her say is that she put herself in some sort of a caloric deficit from the sounds of it. If she is eating what they suggest eating on the box, which is wild to me that they would even do that. High behavior control, straight out of the bite model, but okay. And also, they're all doing it on the same day. So, behavior control. Yikes. But, anyways, she is or was influencing the amount of calories that she was taking in. And then she was starting to work out. So she was burning calories to add to that caloric deficit. So is it really the Prove It ketones that are doing it? Or is it the influence on the calories in and the calories that she's burning? Come on, that's science. That's how science works.
Okay, 20-minute walk, which I felt like I could do because I felt freaking amazing. Anybody want to exercise but you have no energy to do it? Put a 3 in the chat if that was you, okay? But when you have this many ketones going into your body, you're like,
that's the alarming part. So I believe in this kit, you are drinking Keto Nat, you're drinking the Protones, we'll talk about that, or Keto Pro, they call it now. They called it Protones when I was a part of the company. And then the Mitoplex, which is their electrolytes, and I'm not even sure what else comes in this kit, but the sheer amount of products that you are taking in from this is alarming to me, in my opinion.
Like, yeah, let's go lift the car outside. Let's go do that. And you just feel great. So I was walking.
In the Keto Pro, and I'm looking at the website here, their Banana Cream Keto Pro has 4,167% of vitamin B12 and 294% of vitamin B6. Does this have caffeine in it? I'm not sure that it does. I don't think it does. But vitamin B is going to give you some energy. So, Kate, I wonder, did you go out and lift up cars, or did you just have the energy because of the sheer amount of vitamin B in this product to go out and do a 20-minute walk, which I think is fantastic. Go out and do your walk, but let's just be for real, okay?
Y'all, day 5, I had lost 8 freaking pounds.
I'm sorry, that is dangerous. 8 pounds in 5 days. It's suggested 1 to 2 pounds a week for sustainable, healthy, and safe weight loss. 8 pounds in 5 days is not sustainable, and in my opinion, is extremely dangerous. But that is the pain point that they are trying to lean in here. They're trying to lean in on people that don't know how to build a complete plate, that are frustrated trying to lose weight. Now we've had somebody that says that she's had a hysterectomy. They're probably preying on people that are going through menopause. There's all these different health claims that they're saying without saying. And they're like, listen, you can lose 8 pounds in 5 days. And I'd like to go back to what I said a few minutes ago. What happens after the 5 days? Oh, you'll probably be encouraged to continue on the 5-day, the I fast. You're probably going to have to buy multiple of those every single month because they're going to want you to continue doing it. This is all just a cash grab, something that in my opinion, I have seen Brian and Pruvit do over and over again. And when I say Brian, I mean Brian Underwood.
In 5 days. Dustin can tell you, like, I message him, I'm like, what is with this I fast? Like, is this legit? Like, can we do this all the time? I mean, it was put in my life at just the right time. And I'm excited about it because now hopefully my story is going to inspire some of you and help you go inspire other people that there is hope. This is a tool. This is a program. This is a system, and you have support and an entire community to do it with you. I am so excited for all of you. That's my story.
I'm looking at Pruvit's website, and their iFast transformation system is what they're calling it, is $153 retail. Oh, but if you get on an auto ship, you get on a smart ship, you get a discount, and it's $112.45. And this is for 5 days, you guys, for 5 days. So if you are doing this for the month, if you're implementing intermittent fasting and you are wanting to use Pruvit's products, it's going to cost you 6 times that. Her little, can we do this all the time? Yeah, if you want to pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but you can do intermittent fasting for free. You don't need an MLM product to do that.
Awesome. Well, y'all give Kate some love in the chat. That's super great story. And it shows people like life's going to happen. Like Kate said, she had a life happening and she had a program to follow to get her back under control. So it didn't spiral out of control. And I think that's super amazing. And why I love this company and Pruvit so much is because we're everything we can do to try to set it up for people to be more successful. And before I give you my next guest, and who's an amazing story also, I want to talk a little bit about fasting. For people that are maybe confused by the concept, what we're doing.
How are people confused by the concept of fasting? That just means going without food for a specific amount of time. How is that confusing, Dustin?
We're doing something called the intermittent fasting, meaning that you're still eating. So we do longer fasts, but this is a daily fast that you're going to still eat, but you're going to save your first meal, your food meal. You're going to save it till noon. So you're going to have that around lunchtime. Hey, if it's at 11, it's okay. If it's at 1, it's okay. Listen, we're really gray in the timing here, but you're going to.
I mean, you're really gray in a lot of areas. I don't know that I would just say just the timing here. I would say the science is very gray with Pruvit, in my opinion.
Not eat after 8 p.m. If you can even go, don't eat after 7 p.m., I would say that's even better. If you can wait or eat a little earlier in the day and save it, that's even better. So what you're doing is you're fasting, let's just say from 8 p.m. till noon, right? So you're not going to eat from 8 p.m. till noon. And that is a 16-hour fast. Okay. Now, when you use ketones, it doesn't break your fast, so that's okay. So then what you're going to do is we're going to get up in the morning and we're going to have our ketones. We're going to have our signal S, which I'm going to go through in a second. And what you're going to do then is you're fasting. So you're not eating food. So what's happening is you're only going to eat between 12 and 8 p.m. So you have an 8-hour eating window. And that allows us to control the amount of food you're consuming.
Is that him saying the quiet part out loud? Do the Pruvit ketones work on their own with the benefits that they claim that it makes? Or do you also have to have the food you are consuming controlled by Pruvit? That's wild.
Now, we're going to tell you to prioritize protein because we want to make sure we maintain, protect muscle. Good thing is ketones protect muscle loss. We have our Keto Pro that's going to help you with muscle. So
Keto Pro has 80 calories and 4 grams of protein in it. Tell me again how that's going to help with muscle preservation. 4 grams of protein? Stop it.
So many benefits around that. But what's really neat and what's the hard thing about fasting, when people go, can I just fast on my own? What happens when people fast on their own, and if their health isn't superior, or they have a busy, stressful life, and if you're like me, I got a lot going. We got 4 kids, we got business, we got a lot of things happening. So it can get super stressful. Well, what happens is if you're fasting and your body doesn't produce enough energy off your own fat, your energy drops, your mood goes out of control, you feel hangry, you're not feeling very good, you're more likely to binge eat, you're less productive at work, you're less productive at home.
Oh my God. I can't believe what he is saying. There are a lot of people that do intermittent fasting that don't do it to get into ketosis. There are many reasons that people do different types of fasting. Their spiritual beliefs, their religious beliefs being one of them. So it's just interesting to hear him saying these things and like, listen, if you're not doing intermittent fasting properly, then you're not going to be productive at work and you're not going to be a happy person to be around. Okay. Maybe just eat some food. How about that?
So when we use our program, and why this iFast is so powerful is because we're going to give you sustainable energy with ketones. We're going to help you with hydration. We're going to give you all the support products.
Water called and said that it doesn't need any help with hydrating people, that it's been doing it forever. So it's good. Doesn't need any help
Around it to help protect your DNA, help with anti-aging, and help with muscle preservation. Okay, so you're going to help protect any of the bad things that could happen when you're fasting without the right tools.
Without the right tools. So what did people do in all of the studies that has been done on intermittent fasting if they weren't using Pruvit's products? I know, Dustin, you're not ready for that convo, are you?
And we're going to give you the tools to feel and operate at a high level. And like Kate said, you feel really good on this iFast. And the reason why, if you're a really science person, is that we're going to get you to the zone of ketones. There's a special zone, that range you want to be in, where you feel like you're almost superhuman, like you can do anything. Well, we're going to get you there in these 5 days. So you're going to feel days that you just feel like unbelievable. But with that said, I'm going to introduce you to somebody else that has an amazing story.
I bet the feeling unbelievable comes from the caffeine and the large amount of vitamin B12 and B6. I bet that's really what people are feeling, because if you think about all of the products that they're taking in, it's a constant, I was going to say fuel, but it's a constant stream of caffeine and or vitamin B6 and B12. So vitamin B is water soluble, so you just urinate out which you don't use. I bet these people's urine on this iFast is like fluorescent. I bet it is.
And she actually really likes fitness, so I hope she talks a little bit about that. But she has a really cool story, once again, also how to use the iFast that has helped her maintain her results and even accelerate some other things. So, Christina, I would love for you to come on and share your story.
Wonderful. Hey, everyone. My name is Christina Martinez-Williams, and I live in Fort Washington,
This is not sped up. I repeat, this is not sped up.
Maryland. And yes, I have been here for a while, and I was able to drop 30 pounds of fat, 10 pant sizes. I'm really short, so 30 pounds looks like a lot on me. And I did a lot of yo-yo dieting prior. So if you ever did yo-yo dieting in the past, where you would do a diet, gain the weight, we've been talking about this, put it one in the chat again, because that was me, and it was every single summer so that I could fit into my lifeguarding swimsuit when I was younger, but it became this regular pattern that I had.
Let me ask y'all a question. You that is watching this right now. Do you guys think a 5-day intermittent fasting shtick that Pruvit is doing, this summer shred thing that they're trying to promote here, do y'all think that is a fad diet? Let me know in the comments, because in my opinion, I do think that this is a fad diet. I do think that this is a cash grab. I think the emphasis on weight loss specifically in a 5-day window is absolutely alarming and is dangerous for so many people. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. And also, I can't wait for her to talk about fitness. I'm excited about that. I hope she does.
So once I lost those 30 pounds and those pant sizes, I didn't want to gain it back. And I wasn't sure how that was going to happen, because many people, it's the story of everyone's story, that they gained it back and then they saw some extra and then even lost some muscle in the process. And I had gained muscle, lost fat, and I didn't want that to happen. And
says somebody in a company that suggests people to do a 60-hour reboot, a 60-hour fast. Got it.
I knew how easy it was for me to get off of my healthy habits that I had created.
What in the Optavia is happening here? Was this person a part of Optavia talking about the habits of health, the healthy habits? I don't know who this person is, but I feel like I should investigate a little bit.
And how to maintain those. And so now using this system and using fasting with ketones, all of what we're talking about has helped me to do it even better and more, and to gain even more, gain more muscle, be able to be more fit. And I'll talk about that in a second, but
please explain to me how fasting helps you to put more muscle on, to be more fit. Please tell us. Please enlighten us, because science called, and I don't think that that's how that works.
this system is so simple, and that's one of the things that I love about it, is that it tastes delicious. There's so many flavors for us to have in the midst of these 5 days, and they taste so good that you don't have to worry about the cravings that you had experienced in the past. And I was experiencing cravings still. I still had my cravings every once in a while in the afternoons, and this makes it possible for me to stay on track.
I think it's a very normal thing for people to have cravings. In fact, I think if you are, in my opinion, and if you're a registered dietitian and you feel comfortable sounding off in the comments, let me know. But I do think that if you are building a complete plate and you are not eating in an extremely restrictive way based on your goals and what you're trying to do, of course, and you decide, you know what, this sounds really good, I think that you should have that. I think that you should have a serving of it. I think that allowing yourself to have those things prevents, in my unprofessional, non-registered dietitian opinion here, that prevents binging on things because you're not withholding what sounds good to you in that moment. And one of the things that I learned, I can't remember who I learned this from. I know that it was a registered dietitian, but for me, it's have what you want and add what you need. So if I'm craving something that has a lot of carbs, add some protein, add some fat so that I feel satiated at the same time. And that's just my unprofessional, non-registered dietitian opinion. And if you are a registered dietitian, feel free to sound off in the comments. But I Pruvit's ketones, based on my experience, do not prevent cravings at all, because you're typically pairing it with a very restrictive way of eating. Again, based on my experience, you guys that were a part of Pruvit, feel free to share in the comments your thoughts on that.
I hear all the time that people are doing great and then they get off track, and then they're off track for a while, and then it's even harder to get back on track because they're off track for so long.
And why are they off track? Why are they off track of the way that they are being coached to eat? Probably because it's extremely restrictive. Weird how that happens, right?
And I didn't want to do that. And this tool has helped me to maintain what I've lost and gained for 5 years. And that wasn't happening before. That was the opposite. And now also this tool, what I love about it too, is that we do it together. We do it as a community, and we get to be accountable to one another. I know that if I know that other people know that I'm doing this, then I am more apt to stick to it. I'm more apt to stay to what I'm doing and to do it well, and to ask people to keep me accountable.
I don't agree with that. I think that when you are starting on some sort of a fitness journey, a health journey, if you are somebody that is extrinsically motivated, it's a new habit, you're trying to figure this out, having some sort of an accountability buddy, I think that could work for a lot of people until they decide to be motivated intrinsically. However, we are talking about what I believe to be a commercial cult. We are talking about behavior being controlled. We are talking about the entire company, or the majority of the company, or however you want to word that, all fasting and buying this kit, this $115 on an auto ship, $150 retail or whatever, and doing this fasting at the same time. We are talking about a company that is a multi-level marketing company that, in my opinion, does not have the credentials. And specifically, I don't know this person's credentials, and I'm pretty sure Dustin doesn't have the credentials to be suggesting any way of eating for anybody. And that cute little piece of paper, the K-Talk certification that they have paid $997 to get from Pruvit, means nothing. That means nothing in the real world. They are not qualified to be helping people with this. And in my opinion, I think this is a perfect example of a commercial cult.
And that's the beauty of what we get to do in this group, with this community, that we have people around us who are also doing this. We have other people who have success in maintaining healthy habits and healthy lifestyles that we can do this alongside, and they're doing it too. And then we get to win together. We get to celebrate that, maybe that 8-pound drop, or maybe it's just that you had more energy to be like me, to have at night when my girls go to sleep, not go to sleep when they go to sleep, but actually do more in my evening and get more done. That is something that I love. And I love the ability when I get in the pool. So the summer is my pool time, that I do feel like what Dustin said. I feel like a superhuman, superwoman. And it's amazing because I'm 43 and
What is happening?
I used to swim like competitively when I was growing up. But when I get in the pool now at 43, I feel like I'm 18 again. And it's crazy. I'm like, why? How is it possible that I can be 43 and feel this good in the water and go through the water like I have the most energy possible and muscle tone, and gain that in not doing a whole lot of extra, but still moving my body. So
What?
I'm so excited, Dustin, for everyone to do this with you, to continue doing this as a part of my lifestyle, and to continue to help all of us to continue maintaining wealth and health and wellness with our health, so that we can feel our best and be our best and show up our best.
What in the world? The only people getting wealthy in Pruvit are the top of the pyramid. How do I know that? One, I was a part of the company, and two, their income disclosure statement, which I have included in the video description. This person probably isn't getting wealthy off of it. I don't know what rank she is, but if we knew what rank she is or was, and by the way, there are two different ranks in Pruvit. There's the lifetime, like highest you've ever achieved, and then there's your current rank. So the rank that you see, if they still give out badges at the events, is their highest achieved rank, not their current rank. So
Thanks.
Awesome. I mean, you look at, do you see her arms? Like, she's buff. This is super cool. And people ask that all the time. Can I do this if I'm really fitness, or if I like to work out? And I would say absolutely. That's what I do it, because even when you're fit or when you're like to work out, if you can have maximum energy and sustain it, and even go in a little caloric deficit for a while, it's a great reset. Some people ask, can I?
Justin, you have no idea what you are talking about. The reason that people go into a caloric deficit when they are lifting weights is to drop body fat. It's not a reset. What are you talking about? Listen, I feel like Dustin is the type of guy at the gym that has no spatial awareness and thinks that he's just entitled to everything at the gym and his workout is more important. Now, I could be way off. That's just my opinion, but I feel like that I know exactly how he would be at the gym. I feel like I do.
Do this more than once a month or twice a month? You can. We do recommend, though, it's 5 days in a row. So we recommend 2 refeed days. So we want you to eat a little bit more on the other 2 days. Good, healthy foods, of course. And you can do it again and again. You can definitely do that. And it's a really cool process for you to do. But we're going to do it. Kicking off tomorrow is our kickoff for the next 5 days in our entire community around the world. This is 40 plus countries. We're doing the largest iFast, the largest intermittent fasting movement that's ever been done before, with this amazing kit. Now,
why does intermittent fasting need to be a movement? It doesn't need to be. Oh, unless, it's a cash grab and you're trying to get as many people to be a part of the movement as possible.
If you're somebody, I'm going to take you through the kit really quickly, but if you're somebody that hasn't grabbed this yet, guess what? We're not going to stop here. We're going to do this again, but you can do this on your own. You don't have to always do it with the group. We do encourage it because it's more fun, but you can actually get access to this.
I'm sorry, fasting is not fun. That's not ideally what I would say is a good time. Hey, Erin, when you did the keto reboot, the 60-hour fast that Lisa Grossman was like, hey, don't call it a fast, even though that's exactly what it is. Was that fun? No. Hell no.
Right now, and you can grab this if you don't have access to it. Definitely, whoever invited you here, make sure you grab it. And I would grab a box or 2 of ketones with it too, because you don't want to just stop with the iFast. You want to drink your ketones every day.
Right. So that means that if you are buying 2 iFast kits, if you're not putting it on SmartShip, that means that is going to cost you $306 before shipping and tax. And then he's encouraging you to buy a box of Keto Nat as well, which is another $130 before shipping and tax. So now we're at $436 USD before shipping and tax. And let's also remember that we're talking about a 5-day intermittent fasting kit that you do not need. Unbelievable.
But let's get to this really quick. I'm going to walk you through. This is 5 days in a row, and this is how simple it is. if you really want to keep life simple, and listen, the more you have to focus on all the stuff what you eat all day long, it takes a lot of time. So you're going to kick off.
That's why you meal prep. That's why you plan ahead.
Today with your Signal OS. This is an anti-aging DNA repair. Super important.
Show us the studies on Signal OS.
And it works synergistically with this. Keto Nat. This is the biggest breakthrough in supplement history. This is huge.
I don't think it's the biggest breakthrough. I would venture to say creatine is probably the biggest breakthrough because of the strength and muscle endurance benefits, amongst many other things. Also, it's been the most studied supplement out there. You can find all kinds of research on it. So I think that maybe that's Dustin's opinion, but I don't think Keto Nat is the most breakthrough supplement. I think that you would have to have legitimate studies in order to make that claim, and they clearly do not. So weird.
Pure therapeutic ketones. You kick your day off this way, does not break your fast. You stay high focus, high energy, and you start getting your ketones to climb. Then what you're going to do, I forgot one in here.
You can do the same thing with having a cup of coffee. And if you're somebody that is doing intermittent fasting, I believe you can do it without having any creamer or anything like that. You can get the caffeine boost and get things moving, so to speak.
You're going to have our Mitoplex. This is the hydration. You can have this in the morning, mid-morning, or mid-afternoon. I don't care, either one. When you need some extra hydration, I want you to have this. Okay. For lunch, this is super important. For lunch, you're going to have our Keto OS Pro. This is 9 patented products, super cool. I'm a kind of a science nerd, so I love all this stuff.
I'm kind of a science nerd, except I'm not going to provide you with any studies that back up anything that I'm saying. Way to go, Dustin.
But it has ketones in it. It has medium chain fatty acids in it. It has protein in it, and it has branched chain amino acids for muscle building and protect any kind of muscle loss. You're going to have this for lunch around 12-ish. I prefer ice and water is what I recommend. You can have.
You shouldn't be recommending any of this. And by the way, like I've already mentioned earlier in this video, those Keto Pro that he's saying are for lunch are 80 calories. Same kind of thing as Herbalife. You know how they're like have two shakes, then they have their tea and it's extremely low calories. These are not calories that I would consider, in my unprofessional opinion, to be a meal. This is extremely alarming. 80 calories and 4 grams of protein, but you're telling me that 4 grams of protein, because it is made up of MCT, medium chain triglycerides, are going to help prevent muscle loss if you're not taking in enough calories, and specifically not enough protein. How does that work?
A low carb, like an almond milk or coconut milk if you'd like to, but I prefer definitely ice and water is great. And what you can do is I want you to have a protein snack with it. For women, I usually recommend 20 to 30 grams of protein around it.
And who are you to be suggesting this, by the way? Because whoever is watching this that has goals, health goals, fitness goals, whatever, all of that is going to be different, is what I'm trying to say. So who are you to be suggesting any of these things? He's trying to act like he's a registered dietitian, and he's very clearly not.
Deca size of carbs, that's ideal. For men, you're going to have about 30 to 50 grams of protein, and that's about a deck of cards and a half to 2 deck of cards for a guy. Okay, you're going to have that for lunch. Remember, 5 days in a row. In the afternoon, you're going to have this little ampule. This is a new variation, a new form of pure therapeutic ketones. It's a liquid form. You put it in ice and water, drink it down, have it in the afternoon. Super awesome.
Super awesome. Who says that? I feel like awesome would be enough, but super awesome.
Often mix these two together is what I do. That's my little hack. I like to put these together, have that in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have dinner. Okay. We want to encourage you to go low carb dinner. Do you have to? No, you don't. Do you want to accelerate fat burning and get into a deeper state of ketosis?
I mean, I thought the Pruvit ketones put you into ketosis within an hour or less. Why do people have to also pair it with eating low carb? Unless Pruvit ketones don't actually put people into nutritional ketosis, where they're pulling from their fat stores in order to produce ketone bodies because they need it for energy from the lack of glucose. So weird how the science is not sciencing, in my opinion.
Low carbs, and this is simple. A cup to 2 cups of low carb vegetables and a piece of protein, ladies, 20 to 30 grams of carbs. And for men, 30 to 50 grams, my mistake. 20 to 30 grams of protein with vegetables. And then for men, you're looking at 30 to 50 grams of protein with vegetables, low carb vegetables for dinner. Simple. Keep it simple. Don't complicate it. Don't go out and shop a bunch of food. Keep it simple. Really easy.
Don't shop a bunch of food? What?
And then for late night, you're going to wrap up the day around 8 p.m. You're going to have your Signal OS pills. I sometimes take this in the afternoon because I like it better that way, but you can have this at 8 p.m. I recommend. And then optional. What I tell people is if you're feeling amazing and you're full and you're satisfied, you can save this for later.
How many products is that? So here we have the Keto Nat in the morning. You have the Signal AM capsules. You have the Keto Pro for lunch. In the afternoon, you have the Ampule, the Mexican version of ketones. That's what that is. They had to do that because the sweetener that they were using here in the US is actually not allowed in Mexico. So they had to rework that. So what is that? 4 plus Mitoplex, 5, and then 6. I think I'm counting that correctly. 6 products, 6 Pruvit products a day. But he's talking about keep it simple. I'd rather just eat food. Thank you.
But if you want to amplify your sleep and you're getting a little cravings at night or you a little appetite or you want something sweet, have your Keto Pro around 7:30, 8 p.m. Same thing, ice and water is what I prefer. You can have a little bit of low carb almond milk or coconut milk if you'd like, but have this in the evening and this will help satiate you all night long. It'll help you eat.
Or, now this might be a hot take, if you're hungry, have some food. I know, Justin, probably going to have some big feelings about this video, but if you're hungry, eat.
Even a deeper sleep, you're going to feel absolutely amazing. And this is optional. If you do not feel like you need it and you're feeling great and you want to just go to bed, you can save this and have it later after you're done with the iFast. That's okay. 5 days in a row, you knock this out. You're going to feel absolutely amazing. It's so simple. And guess what? Every direction is right there on the back. And we have a Facebook group that's going to coach and take you through the whole step of the way with world-renowned coaches that have been doing this now for multiple years and coaching people all over the world.
World-renowned coaches. Oh, yeah? Who are you talking about? Dr. Jacob, Dr. Ryan. Is that who you're talking about? Dr. Andy. Oh, yikes.
To participate in that. So the Drink Ketones Daily Facebook group by Pruvit, you can join that if you're one of our customers and you get to get all that coaching for free. So the kickoff is tomorrow, y'all. It's time to shred for the summer. The summer shred starts right now. And then listen, if you do not have your kit, get your kit. It is one of the biggest breakthroughs that you're ever going to experience in the fasting state with a high elevated ketone level, and you're going to feel absolutely amazing. So we'll see you tomorrow in the group and invite your friends, of course. Cheers, y'all.
Now, I don't know who the target audience for that video was. I don't know if that was like a training. I don't know if that was for customers. I have no idea. However, if it were for customers, okay, that would make sense, some of the things that he was saying. But if this were a training for Pruvit promoters, he is encouraging people to buy the product. He's not encouraging them to, hey, here's what it is, and here's how we're doing it, and here's how you can say this or that to your customers. Here's the resources you can connect them with when it comes to actual science, because there isn't really any legitimate studies on Pruvit's ketones and their products in general. But think about that for a second. If this were a Pruvit training, he's telling them to front load. He's telling them to be a product of the product. And none of it's backed up by legitimate science. So yikes. Anyways, I had planned to combine this with another video, but this is already a very long video. So I'm actually going to stop this here. And then I will do another video covering kind of like a part 2 maybe of this, or a continuation of their summer shred. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I will make that work. Comment below your thoughts. I would love to hear what you have to say about this summer shred program that they're doing. And guys, don't join an MLM. Don't do that. I don't even know how Pruvit is operating at this point. I would love to see their financials. Wouldn't that be interesting? Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching all the way through. And thank you for all of your comments. I appreciate you guys so much. If you have not already, if you would like and subscribe to the channel, it helps me to get the word out to more people to not join companies like Pruvit and not fall, in my opinion, victim to these fad diets. I don't even know what to call that. It's, in my opinion, it's garbage. Don't do it. Okay. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.